Skye Squad, I want to go ahead and dive right on into the Biz Not E today. Listen, Drew Sidora's album will be out on December the 12th. 12, y'all. How do we know? Because she announced it on her Instagram with none other than Dennis. It is like Dennis is getting double billing on this new season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I mean, who knew he was producer extraordinaire? Let's hear what Drew has to say about the new album.
We're gonna raise a toast.
Yeah.
Cheers. Okay, big news
For the
coming.
Girls Weekend.
If you don't know, now you know. My album is dropping 12/12.
You're in the making.
It's been a year in the making. Okay. So when y'all see the finished product, I don't want you to think, oh, we just woke up and it just happened. No, it's been a lot of blood, a lot of sweat, a lot of tears. So what we're celebrating because we're in the studio. We just had a listening session. And this album is going to win.
We're going to the Grammys.
Cheers. Cheers to the Grammys. So I'm stopping by to give y'all a first listen to my first single. I mean, this is what it is. It's called Love for a Minute. We're going to just play a little bit. Tell me what y'all think about the record, okay? So I really need y'all to give me feedback. You know, I've been working on music my whole life. I've been nervous to put the project out. But
It's your first album. It's your first album.
It's my first album. Yep. I
First
put out music,
album.
but first album. 12/12 is the
12,
date.
12.
12/12 is the date. So mark your calendars and get ready for it. I mean, I'm going to be dropping visuals. I'm going to be dropping records. And I want to hear what y'all think. So we got a lot lined up, but I want y'all to tell me what you think about this record. This record is very heartfelt. Shout out to Dennis.
Love for a Minute. Wrote by my boy Cardo. Hey, look, this is crazy.
All right, y'all. So obviously we cannot play the song here, but you guys can hear this track on Drew Sidora's Instagram page. Love for a Minute. It is very much giving ballad, meaningful ballad. But I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I prefer an upbeat number. You know what I'm saying? I prefer a little, I mean, let me see you 1, 2 step. You know what I'm saying? A little don't you want my goodies? You know what I'm saying? A little get me bodied or something. I don't know. But, nowadays it feels like everybody is really more so on the R&B tip. You know what I'm saying? And really zeroing in on the R&B of R&B. So, I mean, I like what I heard, but I preferred the I Got 5 on it song that she released before. I thought that was going to be the single, okay? And maybe it's on the album, but maybe that was just like a warm-up track. Y'all know a lot of times they used to do that back in the day. They would give us like usually it'd be a remix of some popular rap song that was already out. And, they would, flip it with, R&B vocals or something like that. So maybe that's kind of what that was. She took it back. But if you want the Drew Sidora album, you're going to be able to get it 12/12. I would also have to wonder if maybe that's when we get maybe some type of preview for the new season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I don't know. But all I know is that you can see Drew Sidora posted up with Dennis. Okay. You can see Portia Williams posted up with Dennis as well. So I'm assuming we're going to see a lot of Dennis in this new season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta because Andy has also spoken about the new season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta as well. And he says that is good. Okay. So let's get into a couple of things that our friends over at Queens of Bravo had gotten from a Deadline article or link, I should say. There's an article that was published, and here are some highlights that Andy had to say about the new season. Specifically, we'll talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta, and then we'll talk about the other ones. He says the new season of Real Housewives of Atlanta is outstanding, and he has watched 7 episodes. Now, Are those 7 episodes featuring Kenya Moore at any point in time, or are they Kenya Moore less episodes? I need to know how they're handling the whole Kenya of it all, because if he has seen the first 7 episodes, and that tells us he knows how they plan to roll it out. Okay. And mind you, we probably are at the midpoint of this new season of Potomac. So my guess is that the moment Potomac is in its reunion stages is when Atlanta will be premiering. So I would wager to think that we could be getting Atlanta January, February, maybe late January, early February. I would probably say maybe February, if not even maybe early March. So I don't know. I'm just trying to read the tea leaves, okay, in terms of how they usually place Atlanta, Potomac, and Married to Medicine, because Married to Medicine will still be airing when Potomac goes off. So I'm sure they're going to want to also keep Atlanta as the lead into Married to Medicine. I mean, even though typically Married to Medicine is a stronger show, but I'm actually pretty excited about Atlanta. I might be one of the few, but I'm actually looking forward to mixing the new girls with some of the older, ladies on the show, which is what I think they should have done with the Real Housewives of New York. But when he talks about the reboot, he says this new New York is the future. He says this is the new group. No matter what y'all got to say about it, okay? No matter what y'all got to say, this is the new group. We'll get into that a bit more. He loves Dubai, but y'all, Dubai has been put on pause. But if you are a fan of Dubai, fret not, because our next story has to do with a cast member from the Real Housewives of Dubai on a new show that is coming up soon. So stand by, okay? Because there's 2 things that are occurring that we want you guys to know. Well, one, we'll talk about Dubai in a second. All right, we'll talk about Dubai in a second because it is on pause. Now, the other thing is that they are not in a rush to start on the Real Housewives of New Jersey filming or even determining who the cast is, and I'm sure they're not. There's gonna again be another point. There's gonna be another dry spell. I can foresee it coming, where there are a few housewife shows on, I would say probably by late spring, summer. It's going to be another drought, kind of like what we experienced this past summer. Because right now you've got OC ending, Salt Lake City on, Beverly Hills on, Potomac on, and New York all on at the same time. So you're not rushing to bring back New Jersey. Atlanta is pretty much all that's left, right? And Miami and Atlanta, and Miami's filming. So you got those 2 shows potentially for next year. But unless you're gonna start right away with Orange County, which would be the suggestion. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna be out. And we're not gonna be getting a New Jersey's, and Dubai's on pause. So that's definitely less housewives. But we'll talk about more housewives in a minute. He talks about the ratings, and the overnight ratings don't tell the full story. He does mention that there's an increase in the overnight ratings for the Real Housewives of New York. So he is showing support for that show. He says, I really believe in this group of women. I think they're very aspirational. I think they're fun to watch. I think the clothes and the window into a different kind of New York is all what we wanted it to be. So with this group of the Real Housewives of New York, we're kind of looking to the future with them. I love the original, but this is a new group. It's, keep shoving it down our throats until we love it. I think, I don't know. I mean, I'm just kind of like, the magic of it is lost on me. I do think that the women are aspirational. I just don't think that they're funny. I don't think that they, bring the right kind of zany housewives drama. And I think aspirational is one thing, but you've also got to have a whole bunch of other combinations in there that really bring out a cast. Like, I mean, over the top personalities that are natural. And I think that there's a lack of that on that show. But, what do I know? What I do know is that The Traitors is back, and so is Robyn. Okay. Now, we can talk about the full list of traitors, and I can go over that for you guys, of course, absolutely. But let's really just get down into the nitty gritty of the Bravo people that we know, right? Number one, I told you guys that Dubai was put on pause, right? But you will still see Chanel Ayan because she is going to be featured on The Traitors, which launches on January the 9th on Peacock. Boom. Okay. So she's still, homegirl still working. All right. Robyn Dixon. All right. So Potomac will be on at the same time, and Robyn Dixon will also be back on your television screens for you Robyn Dixon fans. I'm actually looking forward to Robyn on Traitors because I think this offers her an opportunity to stand out on her own, and we've needed to see that, right? We have Dolores. So if you're a fan of New Jersey, but you love sort of that, the middle person, and you love Dolores's, just what she brings, then I hope that she just doesn't fade into the background like Sheree did, because Dolores usually needs to explode in order for us to really like get into her whilst in the mix of a whole bunch of other people. She's great to look at, but I need to see her activated. Dorinda, we already know, never really needs much to get activated because Dorinda is going to bring it whether you like it or not, okay? So with Dorinda being on there, I feel fairly confident that this is just going to be a good show in general. You got Sierra Miller from Summer House. I don't really watch that show. And then you have Tom Sandoval from the Vanderpump Rules, okay? So those are the people that we all kind of like are familiar with. But just to do the due diligence, we'll go through the complete list of people just so you guys can see it. I'm going to share my screen. This is taken from Entertainment Weekly. And we'll run through the cast. We've got Bob Harper from The Biggest Loser. You've got Bob the Drag Queen from RuPaul's Drag Race. Hopefully you guys can see the screen. Who else do we have? Give me 1 second to find it again. All right. We've got Brittany Haynes from Big Brother. We have got Carolyn Wigger of Survivor. I hope I pronounced that last name right. Weiger. I hope it's Weiger because otherwise it sounds crazy. Chanel Ayan, Chriselle Staus from Selling Sunset, for those Selling Sunset fans. Sierra Miller from Summer House. Danielle Reyes, I think it's Reyes from Big Brother. You've got Dolores Catania from New Jersey. Dorinda Medley from New York City. Dylan Efron, Zac Efron's brother. I think that's his brother or cousin or something like that. Down to Earth with Zac Efron is actually a pretty good show. If you haven't watched it, I love travel type shows. Gabby Wendy from The Bachelorette. Jeremy Collins from Survivor. Lord Ivar Mountbatten, who is a British royal. Of course, we've got to have a British royal. Nikki Garcia, who is a WWE Hall of Famer. You have Boston Rob Mariano from Survivor and Deal of No Deal Island. You've got Robyn Dixon from The Real Housewives of Potomac. Sam Ashgari, who I believe was also married to Britney Spears. Tom Sandoval from Vanderpump Rules, and Tony Vlachos from Survivor. Additionally, you got Wells Adams from Bachelor in Paradise, and of course, Al Cumming is the host. I personally am looking forward to this show. I love The Traitors, so I feel like, yes, give me more. Give me more. Okay. Now, just to round things out, we want to send some well wishes to Karen, but also to the Byers family, because we learned today from the Jasmine brand that, a lot of people knew him in the world of TV as a viewer, as Karen's assistant, who accompanied her to her infamous Real Housewives of Potomac press conference. He passed away. It was also confirmed by Charisse. She posted in a post on her Instagram story as well. And again, shout out to the Jasmine brand for posting this. This was also the infamous press conference scene that we were talking about earlier. So a lot of people in the DMV area knew that Matt was heavily tied into the world of entertainment here. So I know that a lot of people knew him as Karen's assistant, but, you know, just to kind of give you an example of his legacy, he just definitely was a lot more to the community here at large, because he did a lot of work behind the scenes in a lot of different capacities. So we do want to say rest in peace to, you know, Matt and his family, sending out condolences to Karen, Sharice, and anyone who knew Matt personally. I just wanted to just convey, you know, just our condolences and to send some warm thoughts their way. All right. So with that being said, those are our stories for today. Listen, for those of you guys who missed out on our Rich Life membership, baby, let me tell you something. It's beyond just, you know, Rich Life is technically just the terminology that I'm using. But, you know, what we're doing and what we're building over there is going to be super duper amazing. So text Rich Life. Text Rich Life to 202-918-3386 if you are ready to, you know, I like to call it paycation. If you're interested in paycations, this is for you. Okay. And also too, we still have our $200 off I have one left. $200 off coupon to Thailand, March 1st through the 7th. Get it now before somebody else snatches it up. If you've been thinking about it, if you've been on the fence, go ahead and grab it and just use that at checkout. All of the links are in the description of this video, so you can tap in anywhere you like. Cape Town, Rich Life, you got Thailand, all of that. With that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video.